Like it or not, pretty much every brand has its competitors. It's a reality of being in business. Coke has Pepsi, McDonald's has Burger King, and Nike has Adidas. The list goes on and on. But the first time I declared my own brand loyalty was during the historic rivalry between the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. An entire generation was forced to choose. What does this have to do with marketing and social media? Stay tuned. If you're new here, my name is Brianne Fleming, and I am a marketing consultant, but also a big pop culture fangirl. I love to share marketing lessons inspired by the things we love in pop culture, from music, sports, TV, you name it. Now, no matter where your allegiance lies in the boy band wars, you may not know that this rivalry was man-made. Just one second, I'm a little parched. Once upon a time, there was a notorious businessman named Lou Pearlman who got his start in the blimp business. Yes, the blimp business in the 1980s. But by the 1990s, he started chartering planes in Central Florida. And that's how he met another iconic boy band, New Kids on the Block. He had no idea who they were, so he was confused about how a bunch of young kids could afford a private airplane. After Lou Pearlman learned that New Kids did $200 million in record sales and $800 million in touring and merchandising, he thought, okay, I'm in the wrong business. And I think I could do that. I think I could put my own group together. And in 1993, he helped create the Backstreet Boys. As their manager, Lou paid for pretty much everything: choreographers, tutors, vocal lessons, everything they could ever need to be successful. And just as the Backstreet Boys were rising to fame, Lou realized there would be competition. That was his light bulb moment. Why not create it himself? That's when Lou Pearlman built NSYNC behind Backstreet's back. All right, now there's an entire YouTube documentary produced by Lance Bass called Boy Band Con that goes into all of this in more detail. But it turns out that Lou Pearlman was a con artist and cheated both bands out of millions of dollars. But anyway, I share this backstory to demonstrate the power people feel when given a choice. Declaring your side of the boy band wars was one of the main ways that millennial girls around the world express themselves. The question, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, sparked impassioned debates at every slumber party. So what do the boy band wars have to do with marketing? Let's talk about it within the context of social media. All brands want more social media engagement. So how do you get it? It starts with giving your audience easy ways to express themselves. Too often we ask too much of them. We present them with obstacles instead of options. If your call to engagement is too complicated, your audience will just scroll past. Think about it. Most of us are on social media to connect with friends and pass the time, so brands are already at a disadvantage. Your content seems out of place, showing up among the videos from our friends and family. So you're competing for attention, which means your content has to be extra compelling. You can't afford to be boring. One way to spark more social media engagement is with something called see and choose content. This is content where your audience sees options in front of them, and it gives them a simple opportunity to engage. This is done with tactics like this or that, fill in the blank, multiple choice, would you rather, or rank your favorites, for instance. There are so many reasons to love see and choose content. Not only is it easy for your audience to engage with, but it's also simple for you as the marketer or the brand to create. You don't have to make fancy graphics or assets. For polls or multiple choice content, just write a question and a few options and you're done. Just remember, don't make your polls random or just for the sake of making polls. They should always tie back to your brand's larger marketing strategy. See and choose content is one of the fastest, cheapest, and most effective ways to learn about your audience. Instead of wondering what your audience thinks or wants, you can just ask. And in real time. Every post is an opportunity for insight. Another reason to love see and choose content, it has a low barrier to social media engagement. The call to action is baked in with clear options to choose from. This approach is way more effective than asking your audience a broad question, because most of the time, we ask questions that are just too hard. This isn't my opinion. This is based on the science of System 1 and System 2 thinking. In his book, Thinking Fast and Slow, Daniel Kahneman explains how our brain and thinking process is broken down into two parts: System 1 and System 2. When we employ System 1 thinking, decisions are easy and automatic. We decide based on our intuition and instinct and are able to think quickly. System 2, on the other hand, calls for more rational thinking versus instinctive thinking. When we activate System 2, decisions are slow and they take a lot of effort. They require more logic and analysis. System 2 is often way too complicated for social media. Remember, your audience is there to socialize and pass the time, not to take an exam. Questions that require too much processing or logic are better suited for a different medium. With see and choose content, you activate System 1. You ask your audience a question, but you also give them the answers. It makes your content damn near irresistible, and your audience will want to weigh in with their choice. So now that you know to avoid System 2 at all costs, I want to share another common mistake I see brands make on social media: asking rhetorical questions. For example, let's say you do social media for a restaurant that offers a weekly happy hour on Fridays. You might be tempted to post a picture with a caption that says, "Who's ready for happy hour?" This is just boring. I hate to break it to you, but your audience isn't waiting for your post with bated breath, just dying to drop what they're doing and tell you, "Yes, I'm ready for happy hour." Instead, ask them something specific. Better yet, ask them a question that allows them to express themselves. Swap a caption that says, "Who's ready for happy hour?" with something like, "What is your go-to happy hour cocktail?" Most people have a favorite drink, and this immediately gets your audience reflecting on their personal preferences and better compels them to share. We love talking about ourselves, don't we? And then you get to engage with all the fun comments and replies. Remember, social media isn't just a place to share information. It's a place to start conversation. You can't just expect engagement. You have to prompt it. And more audience participation starts with an invitation. We've gotten really geeky today talking about the science of social media, and I think it's all further proof that although everyone can do social media, not everyone can do it well. It requires a deep understanding of your brand, your audience, and how people think. So yes, while it may be tempting to have a friend or family member run your brand's social media, investing in a true professional with the proper training is one of the best things you can do to grow your business. If you need more help with this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and sign up for my newsletter, where I'll send you marketing tips inspired by pop culture straight to your inbox. As always, thanks for watching. Ooh, a little chilly all of a sudden.